The fastest way to find stock footage in Premiere is by using the new Adobe Stock panel inside of Premiere. So today I've partnered with Adobe Stock to show you how to find and use the Adobe Stock panel, as well as show you how I use it inside of my own short form editing workflow to one, increase the variety in my edits and speed up my workflow. But before we get started, my name is Boustedt and I've been a full-time content creator for about 2 years now, and I create content to help editors edit better content faster. So with that out of the way, let's open up Adobe Premiere. So now that we're inside of Adobe Premiere, first things first is you guys want to find the Adobe Stock panel. Now, the way that you guys do that is go up to Window, click New Adobe Stock, and then you guys are gonna see the Adobe Stock panel open up on your screen. Now you could place it wherever you want by just dragging and dropping it. So click this, drag and drop wherever you like. I want it right here, so that's where I'm gonna place it. And what's super unique with the Adobe Stock panel is you don't have to leave Adobe Premiere to find your sound effects, your background tracks, your filler B-roll or stock footage. You can find video overlays as well as motion graphics templates or like titles, lower thirds, whatever. Like as you guys can see, we have video backgrounds, titles, smoke, video overlays, lower thirds, animation, green screen, transitions, as well as Adobe Stock audio categories. And it's kind of just feels like a shop inside of Adobe Premiere that you can just, browse through, especially if you have the Adobe Unlimited plan. Now that's currently what I'm running right now. So that way I have no limits in terms of creativity. It allows me to feel free as a creator, as well as, just kind of try things out. If they work, great. If they don't, just keep moving on to the next one. It kind of gives you unlimited swings at bat, which is pretty cool. So now we have the Adobe Stock panel open. I'm going to show you how to license an asset. So we're just going to go over here. Let's just do inspirational music. And I'm just going to grab the first one that pops up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit download. Sweet. Now that the download has been requested, I'm just going to go ahead and exit out of here. I'm going to close this panel and then I'm going to go to libraries. Now libraries is where your audio is saved. And as you guys can see, the audio is right here inside of our audio tab. And then we can just drag and drop it into our project bin like so. And then from there, you just drag and drop into your timeline and you're good to go. So again, as you guys can see, the Adobe Stock panel is super easy to use and it's very intuitive. You don't have to leave Adobe Premiere. You don't have to go search up a bunch of different asset websites to find exactly what you need. It's all done inside of Adobe Premiere, which allows you to stay inside of that flow state when editing, which allows you to edit better and faster. Okay, so on screen right now, you guys can see a reel that I edited using the Adobe Stock panel. I used a template for the intro text, like the flicker effect, and then I added some background music, sound effects, and I actually used some B-roll. So I'm going to show you guys real quick how exactly I went ahead and did that. So first things first, for the sort of flicker text effect, I went ahead and downloaded a title motion graphics template, and it placed it over here in graphic templates, which again, if you don't have that, just go to window and then click graphics templates. It'll pop up, place it wherever you want. Now you simply drag and drop the Mogart. You go to properties and you simply just play around with all of these sort of settings to get the look that you want. First things first, get rid of the background. So I'm just going to turn the opacity to 0. And then I'm going to go over a couple of frames like so. And we're just going to play around with our text. And now that you've played with the colors, the sizing, the placement, the font, you're going to have something a little like this. 4 years ago, if you told me that I'd be sitting right here in this chair, I probably would have. And that looks really great, but I want to go ahead and sort of, place it behind me. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop my rotoscoped layer above it, just like so. And then you guys can see the text is behind me and it's looking pretty dang clean. Now, honestly, to kind of top it all off, I'm just going to go to my libraries, go to audio and find a background song. I again have already uploaded or licensed this audio. So I'm just going to drag and drop it into my project bin like so. And then I'm just going to drag and drop it here into the timeline super easily. I got my background track. I'm just going to go ahead and, turn it down to like, negative 25 dBs just to place it in the background. Living in Washington State, literally a kid outside of high school. It's pretty solid. Sounds really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to another asset, which I downloaded, the 35mm still camera. I'm just going to drag and drop it. It's kind of more of like a transition sound effect. So let me see where would be a good spot. I think right here would be pretty good. I kind of just want to use this second piece. Sweet. Now it's a little loud for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead, hit G, go to -15. That looks pretty sweet, just like so. And I also want to go ahead and add in some B-roll. So again, I already have it downloaded inside of my libraries right here, but just to show you guys how to, you know, again, use it in your workflow, let's go to videos and just type in Washington State and then hit search. And as you can see, it pulls up lots and lots of B-roll of Washington State. I'm just gonna go ahead and download this one right now. And again, with the unlimited plan, you guys could install or download as many assets as you want. And to me, having that freedom is just a must-have. Go ahead, check out the unlimited plan. Okay, as you guys can see, it has been downloaded. So I'm just gonna go over here to my libraries and drag and drop it into my project bin, just like so. I'm gonna drag and drop it into the timeline. But before I do so, I'm just gonna go ahead and find the point that I want. So this looks pretty dang solid to me. Hit the out point, drag and drop it in. And just like that, we have some B-roll added into our reel, and it looks pretty dang good. Because I was living in Washington State, literally a kid outside. So again, this was a really rough thrown together edit, but you guys can see how easy it is to import your audio, like your sound effects, your music, as well as B-roll, as well as motion graphics templates. And that's honestly really all you could really ask for. So the Adobe stock panel paired with the Adobe stock unlimited subscription plan has saved me so much time in my editing workflow. And I'm sure it's gonna help you out as well. Check it out in the link down below. Peace.